time to welcome our dear respected brother Guenther, Jarsen, Dr. Abdul Karim after Islam, who came all the way again from Jeddah. He is originally from Germany, and alhamdulillah, he will take us in a very important trip. It is his spiritual trip to Islam. I am sure that within this relation of his story, his spiritual journey, we will learn a lot. We will learn how did he view Islam before, then what attracted him to Islam, and this will give us strategy, will give us approaches, how to spread Islam, how to preach Islam to others, from the deduction that we will learn from his story. I cannot wait to hear this important story. So on your behalf, we thank him very much. And before we thank him, we pray to Allah to bless his health, to bless his family, and to bless his time.
So I hope everything is working. Everybody can hear me?
Yes.
That sounds good. So first I would like to thank for the opportunity to tell my story. Actually, when I got asked to talk about my spiritual journey from Christianity to Islam, I was, in Germany we would say, you are between the skin and the wood of the tree somehow, because you don't know what you would tell. You don't know what was so important for you to do these steps. It's not easy to talk about yourself. It's easy to talk about subjects. That makes life easy. We all talk about in our professions all the time about things, and it's pretty easy. Talking about yourself is difficult. For somebody from Germany, Torsten will agree on this me, it's more difficult, because usually we don't talk about ourselves. We don't like to talk about ourselves. So, I was really thinking, am I the right guy to talk about things like this? I had a very interesting life, and when I think of my life itself, then it was a chain of unforeseen events, never planned, never whatever I was planning that happens to me, and it was the same actually with Islam. I grew up in a small city, and we had people from all over the world working there, because we have a lot of industry in the south of Germany. So we had a lot of friends actually from Turkey and from other countries. And so Islam was not really far away. You know what it is. And in German schools, people talk about all religions. It's not only that you talk about Christianity, in my particular case about Roman Catholic. You get to know about everything a little bit, to get a picture of the world. So you knew, and with time, for myself, there were questions unanswered. I didn't understand. And many of the things were like, you know, you have a needle in the skin. It hurts you from time to time, but you don't really know how to remove it. And this happens to me. I was traveling a lot during my life, and whenever I had the chance, I didn't know why, but I was visiting mosques around the world. In 2009, I was Director of Operation and Maintenance of the biggest and eldest railway company in the world. I got asked if I can support the Minister of Municipality of Saudi Arabia, because he was building this Chinese helper railway in Al-Mashhad. And obviously the Chinese did not a pretty good job. The government of Saudi Arabia was asking the government of Germany, do you have engineering support on railways? They had, and they were sending one of our subsidiaries there. They are not operational specialists, they're engineers. As soon as the railway went in operation, obviously it did not work well. I was sent there, or I was asked to go there, and I was very much delighted to have the chance to see Islam in an Islamic country, to see Islam in Mecca. Because even if the river itself or the depot itself and everything where you have to go is in Arafat, which is outside of Haram, but it's Mecca. So I went there, and I had the first time in my life I was really nervous to do a job. Not because of this job. It's compared to other rivers, a very tiny little job. Nothing really big, nothing really important, nothing really dangerous. Just the way it's done was bad by the Chinese. So I went there, and we did the preparation for everything went more or less well, and then Hajj came. And I was on Arafat day in Arafat. And I was overwhelmed by 1 million of people being in one place, peacefully, celebrating Islam, not forced to go there, not threatened to go there. Nobody tells them, if something awful will happen to you if you don't do it. No, they want to go there. They want to celebrate, because they believe. And they believe that these rituals are important for them. That there's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to ask Allah for forgiveness. So it was a feeling which I think if you're born in this society, you will not feel it. Wow. So if you're born in this society, if you're born in Islam, I think you will not be able to feel it, what I was feeling. I have many Arab friends, and they all say, we are somewhat jealous, because you had the chance to see it from a different opinion, to see it from a different angle. So this moment of peace was extremely impressive. During all these exercises, I met many people, and one of the persons which actually had the strongest impression on me was one of the deputy ministers of Saudi Arabia, Dr. Habib Senadin. He studied in Germany, so he could understand where I'm coming from. A doctorate in engineering science, so we could speak the same language. We could understand each other. But the way he was practicing Islam, he was writing books about Islam, and not trying to do dawah on me, just to explain me. Somebody is there to live an example, to show you how Islam should be, and there to answer your questions. Let me say, it's dawah in a passive way. He probably knew that if he would approach me, I would reject it. But he did not. He was guiding me. He was guiding me in a way that I could raise questions, try to understand why things happen. And I got answers on questions which I had in mind over years, but they were really not, they're not substance. This is kind of, you have something in the skin, you have a stone in the skin, you don't know how to get it out. So it was this kind of experience which made me hungry to learn about Islam, to learn about more. I'm the director of a company. I took then over a company. I got an opportunity and took over a joint venture between my parent company and a Saudi Arabian company, because I want to stay. I want to have the chance to learn more. And I got approached, say, would you not like to take this company as a model? Do it. And I have a lot of young Saudis going through my hands over this time. And one thing I do with them is not only trying to learn them about management and engineering and whatever we do, no, it's also trying to understand them, because you cannot teach somebody if you cannot understand him. So, and from time to time you do something private with them. So after this Hajj, I went with 2 of my guys for diving. I'm crazy about diving since I'm a child. So we went diving. The guys want to go spearfishing. Okay, so that's great. We go spearfishing. So we went on a boat. We went out to one of the reefs. We did not catch anything on this day, by the way. but I have learned something. A lesson which was so deep later on, so important for my decision. This kids, they were in the water, we were snorkeling, we were diving, and just all of a sudden, they went out on the boat. You know, you're Christian, you don't understand why they're not going out of the boat. And on the boat, they were checking, you know, where's Mecca? We want to pray, not we have to pray. We want to pray. And this was something that was so much unexpected for me. This, you know, there was not the pressure of the society, not the pressure of the other Muslims in the companies to say, no, it's prayer, yalla, salah, go. No, it was this moment of total freedom. And they have to decide it, or they have decided to practice Islam, to praise Allah. You know, there's this moments when you are not coming out of this. If you're confronted with this, if you don't understand it, you start to sing. There must be something very, very special at this moment for them, that they don't want to miss any prayer. Even on the boat, they don't want to miss any prayer. These were things they really moved me a lot, and the chance to speak with people like Habib, for example. So I learned more and more, and one fine day I found myself ready to say, I would like to convert. I would like to know what it needs to convert. I want to be a part of this feeling. I want to be a part of this expressing the belief. And by the way, the belief between Christians and Islam is not so far away from each other. We all believe to the same God. Islam respects the books. It's not a crime. It's that small, tiny changes which I could not understand. So how could, you know, a human being dying, suffering, be the son of Allah? Something unique. That makes no sense for me. It did not fit. So the story from Isa in Christianity just did not fit. It was somehow like artificial. It did not fit. There's also things that I had always in my mind. So, and one of the things which I had a problem with Christianity is the way Allah gets seen. Allah gets seen in a way very powerful. And you will find it in the first book as well, where he sends angels to erase people and things like this. The way he appears in Islam is totally different. He is bountiful, cheerful, merciful. He understands we are human beings. We are not able to be perfect. We are not able to do everything what is expected from us. We will do mistakes. And he still loves us. And he still forgives us. And one of the major things which was important for me to understand was the papal infallibility. We were listening today about the speech about infallibility. You know, that's the same thing. Nobody is infallible. How can we, a human being, be infallible? It's not possible. That was all things, these needles in my skin over the years, which I did not understand. But just all of a sudden I had an answer. And the answer was just, it makes no sense. You know that. Then you speak to people, they believe in Islam. And with just all of a sudden, the whole belief makes sense. It makes sense. And especially the point that Allah is merciful, bountiful, was very impressive for me. For a Roman Catholic, you know, even if we say we are afraid from the hellfire, but this is the final stage if we are not able to embrace Islam over many steps. It takes you, I would almost say it takes you effort to come there. Because Allah will not allow you to come there. He will forgive you. So to come into the hellfire, believe in Allah, it needs your effort. You have to do something wrong by purpose. You know, it's not by, I don't want to do it. It's purpose. It's really so harsh that I have to say, to come in hell, if you believe, it needs purpose. Examples actually were moving me. If we talk about a spiritual journey, in reality, it was a real journey. It would have not been happy if I not went to Saudi Arabia. So for me, the spiritual journey went hand in hand with the physical journey. I went to a place where Islam is living. It's a pulsing heart in the society. Without this experience, this very, very strong experience, I would have been ignorant. I just would have not recognized. Christianity is not, today at least, where I'm coming from, it's not a living religion anymore. It's there, and people, maybe they go on Sunday to the church, whatever they do. And yes, there are some holidays, or Easter, or what is very important for the Christian, and they go to church. But it's not living. It's not a part of the day-to-day life. What I have experienced in Saudi Arabia was like a flash. You're everywhere. And even if you're sometimes annoyed when you stand in front of Jarsen and the people go to pray. It's like, I'm the next one. I would like to pass, I would like to enter. No, it's silent. And you learn to understand that this is so essential following Islam and for this society. So for me, the way I experienced Islam was an example of a life I would like to have. An experience on a belief I have to have. And a way I need to follow. It was not one single thing. It was a combination. It was the end of a journey, which I have started far back in Germany, not even knowing that I started this journey. Allah put me on this journey. And Allah let me end it. And when I have decided to convert, the minister became my witness. He says, I have to do this. I have to do this. And it was very interesting. He was saying, you have to choose a name. And my name, Guenther, is a very, very old Germanic name. It's more than 2,000 years old. And it means actually warlord. And so very aggressive thing, so really German. And Dr. Habib knows German, obviously, so he was saying, you should be Saif al-Islam. I was laughing, was saying, no, sorry, that's not the reason why I want to convert. Give me a day time to think about it. And I was thinking, what makes Islam for me important? And for me as an individual, for me, it is to see Allah in a light I haven't seen him before. Bountiful, cheerful, merciful. And there was only one name of the 99 names I could choose. I have to become Abdul Karim. There was not one single moment of guessing. It was clear. This is what I want to be. With all these changes, I have to say in a very, very interesting way, because it's not only this. My life, I could get the rewards immediately. Not only in belief, becoming a member of the society, the way people talk to you. You're a brother of something big. And mashallah, I met my wife. That's something it would not have happened before. And I was saying my life was a chain of unexpected things. But it was increasing in a way when I came to Saudi Arabia, which nobody could ever have foreseen. Allah, but nobody else. So I met an Arab woman, and very traditional, very strong believer. And I had this feeling that she went to my way because Allah had seen this one. She went to my way also that somebody is there to guide me, because you knew you have nobody around to guide you. And when I told her I would like to propose, because I've asked my Saudi friends what I have to do, And they told me, you have to propose. So I was divorced in Germany. I have two boys in Germany. But I never proposed. It did not went this way. You two have decided you want to get married, you went to the municipality, you get married first. Full stop. Here, there's a tradition. You have to ask. And then I went to Egypt to propose and found out that my future father-in-law is a teacher of Islamic science and Islamic history. If this is not a plan of Allah, then I don't know. So I was proposing, and the very interesting experience I had was, it is not only, he's somebody really, unfortunately he died, but somebody who really embraced Islam. And his answer was, if you are a believer, of course, I'm not allowed to reject you. It's not my right to reject you. You hear many things, particularly if you're in Saudi Arabia, dowry has to be like this and this has to be. He did not ask me for one single moment for this. Not for one single moment. His only concern was, do you believe? Will you be a good husband? Other than this, he didn't care. And these are things when you experience this, coming from something else, you see how Islam lives in the society. And with all these examples I have in my life, and you still not believe that there is somebody higher than you guiding you, then you're lost. Because I told you, it was not a spiritual journey in a spiritual sense. It was the journey of my life. And it's this kind of moment, and it was not ending at this moment. It was just an episode. I'm the first German ever married in Saudi Arabia in a social court. Ever. So when my father-in-law came to Saudi Arabia, so that we can cut at the social court in Jeddah, the sheikhs there found out that they were reading his books. And just all of a sudden, it was not my marriage anymore. Because everybody was talking about him. That's why I say, I have so many examples, people in my way. They were guiding me, but they did not do dawah in a way that they were trying to convince me, trying to teach me, trying to bring me on a track. No. They were doing something, and I just want to refer to what Jarsen is saying, what the Islamic society should do. They should live an example. I'm on this very, very lucky track, let me say it this way, that I have every station people with an example for me. People put in my way by Allah to show me how it was, not to teach me. I'm an old guy, I'm 50 years old. You will not teach me. If I'm not willing to get taught, that's lost. I'm not 20 anymore. You cannot impress me. Unfortunately. But Allah can. And Allah did. And whenever I had a question, I had somebody who helped me. And I have seen this in the society. When my first child got born, my first daughter with my wife, we had a lot of trouble with the paperwork. Because somehow, my karma over years, it could not get fixed, the religion. So certificate for conversion, I had a Iqama saying something totally different, and I had a child born with a statement of Ministry of Health, I need a birth certificate. And municipality of Jeddah, they were saying, we cannot give you, because Iqama and this doesn't fit together. They're saying, I have an Islam certificate, guys, that's not a lie, it's signed by a sheikh, please. So I found somebody who was saying, okay, but please fix your Iqama. I was trying this 3 times already, but I will try a 4th time, of course. So what happens was that with all this paperwork, I could not get the papers fixed before Ramadan. So a day before Ramadan starts, before 1st of Ramadan, I went to Saudi in Jeddah. And so for foreign investors, the investment authority is responsible to help. And inside the Sagia, there is an office of Jarsen. And I went to this mudir, the day before 1st of Ramadan. I told him I have to travel with my child, I have to travel with my wife during Ramadan. I don't have the papers yet. I might get them tomorrow from the German embassy, after all this trouble with birth certificates. And he told me, but you know that tomorrow is 1st of Ramadan, yes? I told him, yes, of course I know. For sure I know. But what shall I do? And he told me, you are a brother. I will not let you down. Come tomorrow to our office building and knock at the back door. I will be there after prayer. On 1st of Ramadan. That's not his duty to work there. It's not his duty to make an Iqama of my daughter. It's not a duty to give her a visa on this day. But he told me, I'm his brother, and he can help. My brother helped me. And he told me, it's a pleasure to help somebody who believes in Allah. Try to do this in Germany. You will never try. No way. Try to do this in any other place in the world before Christmas or Easter. You will go nowhere. Do this here with your brothers and sisters in Islam, and they will not let you down. This is where I say, I have experienced Islam. I did not get called by somebody. I got called by Allah, but by nobody else. And this is when I say, it's a journey to Islam. It's a journey of Allah was setting me on a train, and He let me pass in this direction. It was not my choice. It was not even meant to be, from my perspective. When I came in this country, I was thinking I will be here for 2 years, the thing will run, I will run away. I have a job in Germany, so I don't want to. After 1 year, I want to stay here. After 2.5 years, I got married. Now my second child is coming. And we will not leave. And we try, and also even this is the way I understand Islam today. We are trying to give something back. So whenever I have the chance, I'm not good in teaching Islam. I know not enough. But I'm good in teaching other things. So whenever I have the chance, I take young Saudis and teach them. Help at least give a little bit back on their professional career, on economical skills, on things that they can stay in the country and do their part in the country, on the society. Because one thing is clear for me, if we don't help each other, so if we all not help our kids, then I don't know why we are here. Because it's all about the next generation. We are the only stones in the mosaic. So much on. Without us, the mosaic will not look good. But we're not the only stones. And today, I don't know what to say. I'm just thankful. Thankful for every single help I got. Thankful for every person which stepped in my life. And until today, I'm a close friend to this minister who helped me to understand. To this army who took me under his wings and said, look about it. Nobody actually told me, I want to teach you. Nobody was saying, you have to do it this way. But they were all there when I had a question. And I had plenty of questions. Plenty. Because I'm not born, I'm not grow up with Islam. I was in the late 50s when I converted to Islam. Late 40s when I converted to Islam. You know, you settle down with your life and the world around you and the way you see your life. And I had one experience actually, even if it's from an Islamic point of view, maybe not totally right the way I experienced it, but I want to give one little story which happened to me. Before the first Hajj, we did emergency drills on the railway in Arafat. And everybody of you knows the big mosque in Arafat. If you're on the railway station and you look down, it does not look so far. You think that there's a mosque, right? But it does not look so far. I was Christian at this time. And I was looking down and I was thinking, I would like to see this mosque. And all the people around were saying, you're Saudi Arabia, you cannot go to a mosque. Come on, I was a Moroccan mosque, I was a Turkish mosque, I was all the other countries. At least I want to try, I want to see this mosque. So we had a break, and I went. And it was a very long journey, because unfortunately, the mosque was far, far away than I have expected, because it's so big. So from the dimension, I thought it's a mosque, okay, and it's a short way to go there. The reality was, it was a very big mosque, and it's very far away to go. It was very hot. So I was walking. And I was saying to Allah, why do you do this to me? Why you let me walk so far? When I was half the way gone, but then I've decided, no, I will not stop. Now I've done half the way, I will do it the full way. I want to see it. So I went there, and it was somehow closed. And then a young imam came out. And I was thinking, I try my luck now, maybe he speaks English. He spoke fantastic English, without any accent. I was so much impressed. I told him, you know what, I would like to see this mosque, but everybody tells me in Saudi Arabia, I'm Roman Catholic, I'm Christian, I cannot see the mosque. Tell me who tells it. I told everybody. I said, they're all wrong. Why you shall not see the mosque? So you know what, I have time, I will show you the mosque. So he took me in and showed me the mosque in Arafat. I was very much impressed about the size, about everything. And imagining that this mosque will be in a few days' time full with people. And it's not space enough because they even pray around the mosque, he explained to me. I never saw it before. Going out, I have asked him, why did you allow me to see it? He told me, in Islam you believe in all the books. You believe in God. Why shall I forbid you to see the house of God? I told him I meant. He's saying, it's not about meaning, to know. I said, still I'm very much impressed. And he told me, look, I give you an example. It might not be the best one, but it might be one you understand. He says, when Allah gave belief to the people, it was the way you would develop a software. So he gave the first version of belief to the people. And the first people, so this first version were the Jewish. Jewish were believing to Allah. And they still do. But unfortunately, this software was broken. This alpha version of belief was broken. These people, they did not properly believe. They were killing each other, they were killing all the prophets, they were fighting with everybody. That was wrong. So this was a version which was a nice try, but not good. So Allah did another try. He fixed the mistakes. And he brought Christianity. Christianity was running not so bad as beta, but still there was problems. A human being cannot be the son of God, and people cannot be holy. So many things were not so clear, but at least they were stopped fighting. And then he brought Islam. He fixed it. Now saying, I tell you why this example is not a good one. Because Allah doesn't make mistakes. But it shows you that this is a journey over time. So we all believe in Allah in a different way, and people were violating it. It was not Allah which was violating the Jewish belief, it was the Jewish people. And not the Christian, and it was not Allah who was saying, whatever, that's my son. It was the people that did this. But to make you understand that this is, Allah was guiding the belief to the right point. This is what I want to tell you. And this is why we believe in our books. We believe in the people of the book. And we have no obstacle about people believing in the books. This was something that really made me think, because I had a different opinion. You live in Europe. What you know about, Palestine is a very good example, but you see all the time. And where people fighting against each other. In particular, what you see when Israel got implemented artificial. There was the Jewish people for a few thousand years, why the hell they come back? So, this was things where you see this fights all the time. And it did not fit. So, I know it's a bumpy explanation, but for somebody like me at this time, it was something that made me think. It was something where I understood that over the time, the real belief was given to the people. Rasul, peace be upon him, he was the one who finally told us what to do and how to do it. What is the will of God? So, I have to tell the story, even if I say it's a bumpy story, but in this time for me, it gave me a lot. It gave me a lot, because it did not make me feel outside. I believed to Allah. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's maybe wrong the way I believe, but my belief itself was problems. So I did just not know the proper way to do it. But my heart was on the right way. So this is why I love this example so much. Coming to a point which I was saying at the beginning, I never experienced a spiritual journey. I experienced the journey of my life. And I'm blessed that I was guided on this journey. And that I could experience all this. And if somebody asked me today, what is the best dawah? Then it's the one which is there when you have a question, which is there when you need help. At least somebody coming from my country. There's nothing else I can say. I guess I just took 40 minutes now. It's not so sad.
Dr. Karim, may Allah bless you. It took us a very, very motivating trip. Now the floor is open for any question or any comment. But if you allow me to start by saying it is really very singular experience, because the traditional way we learn about someone embracing Islam or reversing to Islam, that he or she might read a book or is influenced by an individual. But in your story, you notice there is providence, capital P. Providence, there is guidance, there is events, that Allah put in your way to guide you to the truth. Because in the beginning, I feel sure that you have inquisitive mind and you have sincere intention to find the truth, capital T, so Allah gave you the truth. My simple question is straightforward to encourage the brothers and sisters to ask, did you find any difficulties or obstacles with regard to your family after you announced that you are a Muslim?
That's an interesting question. Actually, it was very much a surprise for them. It is the way that particularly my father is a very open-minded person. The surprise was not so much. I think he's very open towards Islam, so he would never convert. But he's very open to talk about this and something he would not have expected. It was a very unexpected. And when I got married again, this was even far more unexpected for everybody. No, but talking about Islam, the experience I made in Germany with my friends, with families, I have to say even with the municipality there, was very positive. I did not experience any bad. I have to say it this way. People were interested to ask, to question, why did you do this? What was moving you? And I told them, if you would be here, in particular during Ramadan or during Hajj, and you feel what I was feeling in Arafat, you would not decide differently. You can feel the presence of Allah in a way which is overwhelming. You have to confront yourself with this. And actually, even people from which I would not have expected that they are very positive, they were reacting very positive. They're saying, that's great, and that's great that you love it, and great that you found something that gives you something. So German society has changed since the 50s so much. And we have so many people as guests or as living in the country that became citizen, and our society is so colorful, particularly in the south where our industry is. There's nothing you can say, why are German people taking 1 million refugees? Because we have no problem with this one. They need help, and we can afford. And so the people are open about this, and it's not a problem. We have so many people from Arab countries in Germany. They're living there. They have German passports. We have so many Turkish people living there in the third, fourth generation already. So nobody's questioning this so much. I don't know how it is in other parts of Germany. I can just talk about the south where I'm coming from, Bavaria, Baden-Württemberg, Sweden. People that are very in their tiny little world, but it means not that they don't accept others. It means just they have chosen for themselves their own thing. In Germany, we are very much concerned about our privacy. So if people want to be Christian, they should be Christian. If people want to be Muslim, they should be Muslim. They should be whatever makes them happy. Whatever they feel, that's the right way to be. This is what we experience today. And what you see now with all the Syrian refugees and all these people, you would not experience, and you have not experienced in any other country, because of this belief of the people. Unfortunately, we have today as well people that are not very friendly to their hosts. That's what we have experienced just now, what you see in the press. But still, most of the people, they are welcome. They need their help. Germany is today multicultural. That's the way. We have, in every bigger city, we have mosques today. We have also other churches today. It's not so. And it has nothing to do with secularity. It has something to do that we respect the belief of people. If somebody believes, then he has a reason to believe. And I don't have the right to stop him in believing or make his life difficult because I don't let him believe. I don't give him a mosque. Today people have the right to build a mosque in the city. It's no problem. They go to the municipality, they have a plan, they have a land, and say that's the way we want to do it. And they will even get some support from the government to build a mosque. So if there are Muslim people in the city, that's natural that they say, for sure you will get money. You know, we will the church they get money too, so we will the mosque get money. We will support it. Sometimes European countries get, particularly here in the GCC, get not seen in the light. It's very sad because there is people get expected as guests, and particular German people are very happy to see them. You have, in every country you have some concrete heads, they have their own thing. You have them here as well. You have in Saudi Arabia people that don't want to see foreigners. Germany people that don't want to see foreigners. France people that don't want to see foreigners. You have them everywhere. But a bad example has nothing to do with the people of the country or with the way they act. So every tree has a bad apple. And even this tree has a bad apple. Thank you.
Okay, any other question? Any questions from the floor? From the lady section, do you have any question?
Are your sons Muslims?
Excuse me?
Your sons Muslims?
No.
All of them?
I have two sons out of my first marriage, and they're both Christian. And I have obviously a daughter now. She's Muslim. But now a little son is coming. That's why I'm always very concerned regarding my telephone. He can come anytime now.
And what about them? What about them? What do you intend to do?
No, it's not what I intend to do. I can just be a good example.
Yeah.
I did not force to do something. And I don't want to force. Because I believe the change you do on your own, guided by Allah, is the change you will really do. You will really believe it. You will really follow it. If I force you to do something, you will always reject. If I give you the chance to understand it, yeah, that's what I try. And with the boys, actually, the little one is very close, but I told him, take a little bit of time until you can take a decision. And the elder one is engaged to a girl in Germany, and she's Roman Catholic and teacher, whatever. So that's difficult. I don't want to say it's a lost case, but it's a difficult case at least.
Any more questions? Okay, if there is no more question, we have to conclude. So on your behalf, we thank very much Brother Dr. Abdul Karim, and may Allah reward him for this very motivating relation that he gave about his, I wouldn't say spiritual journey. I noticed you are a little bit reserved about the word spiritual. So, as you said, it's a sequence of events that came in his way, alhamdulillah, until he reached what he reached here. And also, we would not lose hope that may Allah give guidance to your son, boys and girls from your previous marriage. And may Allah give them guidance. Assalamu alaikum.